Hey, Grave Diggers, Mr. Hargrave here. And yes, this is my dog. I'm hanging out with my dog, kind of casual today here. I just wanted to shoot a quick video. This information's already been covered. It's out there. Other content creators might have mentioned it. It's been on Discord. I saw it in my own comments. The first place I saw it was actually in my comments. So thank you, Grave Diggers. This was a very clever trick, exploit, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, let me show it to you here. If you want to get Rogue, if you want to unlock Rogue, just unlock her. You don't need Young Avengers. You don't need Young Avengers. You don't need A-Force. You don't need Inhumans. I'm going to show you what you do need, and I'm going to give you a tip on how it works to make it, just to make it easier for you. This is the easiest way to unlock Rogue. So we're on difficulty 8, Famine difficulty 8. You are going to need some powerful teams for this. I went ahead and threw Stay Down on because why not? May as well. And all this does is it removes revive ones from that character. This is basically a free Scourge. So no matter what you're doing, you may as well add this. There's no Scourge run where you don't put this on. Even if you're doing difficulty 10, you put this one on, it's not going to affect you. The only thing it affects is Dormammu, and who cares about that, right, guys? What we're talking about today is just unlocking Rogue. To unlock Rogue, all you need is a score of 500,000, which is what we have here. We actually have 512,000. So that will unlock you Rogue. If you look here, if you look at the milestones, the final Rogue shards are right down here at 50,000. I think it's milestone 17. Is milestone 17 the last one? Yeah. And then everything else is extra. I have a video on how you get 1,000,000 points. This is just how you unlock Rogue. No Young Avengers needed. So you do not need to even touch Mission 5 at all, which is great. You can also do this by, like, if you drop down to difficulty 6, you put a bunch of Scourges on. You can do it that way too. But then you need some kind of Young Avengers, A-Force, or Inhumans, probably Young Avengers to do it. And you might not have that. Here's what you need to have. And this kind of assumes that you're a long-term player or a veteran player, and that maybe you quit and then started back up, and maybe you missed Young Avengers like my dog did here. My dog totally missed. She stopped playing. She used to play really hardcore, and she had a really good symbiote team, and then she stopped playing right around when Young Avengers came out because she was like, I don't know who they is. And so she stopped playing, but then she came back. That's right, you came back. I don't know why you came back. I guess I started telling you that the game was better, so you started playing again. She's a poodle. I mean, she's very impressionable. But anyways, if you have symbiotes, as many of us veteran players do, and maybe we skipped Young Avengers because, reasons. It's a war defense team. We just didn't feel like building it. Resources are tight. Maybe we're not the most hardcore player. I'd say for hardcore players, I do suggest building Young Avengers. But look, I'm moving on. I'm just assuming you don't have them. You don't have the Young Avengers. She doesn't have them. So I did this for her. And see, what are you watching? All right, so I did symbiotes. The opening, all you have to do is stand on this node is there's going to be an opening where they hit you really hard. As long as Anti-Venom doesn't die. For me, no one died. And I'll show you my teams too. I'll show you my symbiotes and the other teams used here so you know exactly the power levels we're talking about. But my Venom isn't even tier 15. Like, this is difficulty 8 feels really easy. I don't know why, but it just does. So yeah, symbiotes are fine there. And then even better, mission number 2, symbiotes are great here. You might have to reset this until you get that undead Asgardian right by Bishop. For me, he was on the other side. And I just kind of lived enough to, I had all my abilities charged up, so that helped. I could use the symbiote Spider-Man ultimate, and that killed the undead Asgardian on the other side, and then he spawned closer to me. And then you just kill the undead Asgardian a whole bunch and get a whole bunch of turn meter. Just always hit him. If you can kill Gambit, that helps out a lot. Like, Gambit is just awful. Disrupt him, kill him, because if you don't, he's going to just keep killing your symbiotes. So get rid of him. Keep killing the undead Asgardian. It's really, really easy. Really not a big deal. Okay, for the mutant section. Now this is harder to get. Now symbiotes are kind of more available now. Astonishing X-Men is actually one of my bigger problems with the game, is that Jubilee is so hard to get. But if you're lucky enough to have Jubilee, like some puppies are, you can still beat this, and very easily. I had no issues with this whatsoever. Just went in and pretty much destroyed it. You even get a Hela, so another Hela, and then you can start killing the undead Asgardians again using Astonishing X-Men. Same trick applies. Now, here is the tricky part. Here's my big advice that maybe not everyone is telling you. On the second mutant node, you got to send in a sacrifice team, and it doesn't have to be big. I use my Unlimited X-Men and Wolverine instead of Rogue, because remember, we don't have Rogue yet. You don't have Rogue. This is before you got Rogue. Now she has Rogue, and she can use that and maybe try to get further, or try it on difficulty 9. I don't know, but look, you just don't need much, is what I'm trying to show you here. We have 50K, a 50K Sunfire. You just basically have to get the ultimate attacks off the board. Make sure Emma does her ultimate attack. There's a couple other ones on there. And then I just sent in Astonishing X-Men, and it was like a breeze. It was no problem at all. Very, 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 very simple. All right, and that was it. That was it. It took like, I don't know, 15 minutes. It doesn't even take a long time. So as long as you have these teams, and you might be able to substitute in other teams. I know mutants are really hard for people, so I don't honestly know what else you would use. These are raid teams, though. They're teams a lot of people have built, and so you might have them as well in your roster. I hope this helps you. Let me go ahead and just show you the power levels on these teams so you know exactly what I was dealing with. My symbiotes, super weak. So you can get by on super weak symbiotes. Just they really hold up well on this. They really, really do. Level 85, Venom's only level 80, and tier 15 except for Venom, who's tier 14. I do have blue Isotope 8, except for Venom, who does not. I like the Isotope 8 that I've selected here. However, you can get other ones. If you have Healer, you might be able to have an even weaker team just by exploiting Hela. By killing the undead Asgardians, you might be able to build up so many regenerations, but really that Gambit's probably a bigger problem for you. So there's my symbiotes. If they look similar to that, you can do well on that. That's an old raid team, man. We had that built up back on the Ultimus 7. And then here's my Astonishing X-Men. So now my Astonishing X-Men are a little crazy. We got a 6 red Jubilee, 6 red Beast. I'm sure that makes it easier, but even if you don't, you might have to retry the node enough times until you finally get it right. Anyways, there it is, everybody. That's how you unlock Rogue, the cheap and easy way. If you're kind of a veteran player who, played the game a lot, was very hardcore, and then stepped away, and maybe you just come back because you really like Rogue. Like my dog loves Rogue. She actually doesn't care. She just likes she likes to put her paws on my arm. Like, just do it. Why don't you want to do it now? She does that. Is what she cares about. That's all she cares about. All right, everybody. Also care about the channel. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. And Grave Diggers, keep digging. But myself keeps slipping.